Good morning. Today I'm going to discuss about subsequences. See the definition first. Let Sn be a sequence of real numbers and Nk is a sequence of natural numbers such that N1 less than N2 less than N3 and so on less than less than Nk plus 1 less than so on. Then the sequence Snk k is equal to 1 to infinity is said to be subsequence of Sn. So for example, Sn is equal to 1 by n. The terms of sequence are 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and so on. See S2n is 1 by 2n, all even fractions, 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 6 and so on. Sn 2n plus 1. So 1 by 2n plus 1, these are 1 by 3, 1 by 5 and so on. So these are subsequence of Sn. Sn 2n plus 1 are subsequence of Sn. A similar way, I write S2 power n. S2 power n is 1 by 2 power n, these are 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, that is 1 by 4, 1 by 8 and so on. This is also subsequence of Sn. See, theorem here, if a sequence Sn converges to S, then every subsequence is also converges to S. If a sequence converges to S, then all its subsequences are converges to S. See the proof. Let Sn be a sequence of Sn be a sequence and Snk be a subsequence of Sn. Let Sn converges to S. Okay. So we get limit Sn is equal to S. So by definition, epsilon greater than 0, there exists m belongs to n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater or equal to m. This is the definition of convergent of the sequence. Okay. So since nk is greater or equal to k for all k, consider n k greater than n, capital N. Nk is greater than or equal to k greater than capital N. That implies nk greater than capital N. We conclude that for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists natural number n such that mod Snk minus S less than epsilon for all n greater or equal to n. Therefore, by definition, we can say that limit n tends to infinity Snk is equal to 0. So every subsequence converges to S. What about the converse? If subsequence converges to S, then the sequence Sn is converges to S or not. So if a subsequence converges to S, then the sequence Sn is need not be converges to S. For example, minus 1 power n. Minus 1 power n is a sequence and Sn is equal to minus 1 power n. S2n, what we get S2n is equal to minus 1 power 2n, that is 1. So it converges to 1. S2n is converges to 1. S2n plus 1, all odd terms, minus 1 power 2n plus 1 is equal to minus 1. It converges to minus 1. But Sn is equal to minus 1 power n is not convergent sequence. So all the subsequence converges, then it need not be converges to S. And is a note that it is clear that every subsequence converges to S, then the sequence is converges to S. Here, every subsequence converges to S. All subsequence of the given sequence converges to same point S, then the sequence is also converges to S. See example, Sn is equal to 1 by n. S2n is equal to 1 by 2n. 1 by 2n is converges to 0. Sn 2n plus 1 is converges to 0. So therefore, Sn is converges to 0. See in the earlier example, I told that Sn is equal to minus 1 power n. Sn is equal to minus 1, 1. The terms are of the sequence minus 1, 1. S2n is 1. Limit S2n is 1. Therefore, S2n is converges to 1. But S2n plus 1 is converges to minus 1. So the subsequences S2n is converges to 1 and S2n plus 1 is converges to minus 1. But the given sequence Sn is not convergent. Okay. So if a subsequence converges to limit, then it need not be converges to that limit. And one more point, if all subsequences of given sequence converges to same point, then the given sequence is converges to S. See, some examples are there. The sequences an is equal to minus 2 power n and bn is equal to minus 1 power n. Okay. Cn is equal to 1 plus minus 1 power n, dn is equal to 3 by 4 power n plus 1. For each sequence, give examples of subsequences. For each sequence, give subsequence limit. Which of the following sequence are bounded? Which of the following sequence are convergent? See, one by one. First, an is equal to minus 2 power n. The terms of the sequence are minus 2, 4, minus 8, 16 and so on. I write a to n. A to n is equal to minus 2 power 2n, that is 4, 16, 64 and so on. A to n minus 1 and minus 2n power 2n minus 1 is negative times minus 2, minus 8, minus 32 and so on. So these are the subsequence of an is equal to minus 2 power n. Okay. And limit an is equal to infinity. So the limit does not exist, so that the subsequence is not convergent. It is not bounded, it is not convergent. Okay. See, bn is equal to 5 power minus 1 power n. 5 power minus 1 power n. bn is equal to, what we get? 1 by 5 comma 5. The terms of the sequence bn is 1 by 5 comma 5. b to n is equal to 5, 5, 5, all 5s. And that means limit bn is equal to 5. Limit bn minus 1 is equal to 1 by 5. But limit b to n converges to 5. Limit bn to n minus 1 is converges to 1 by 5. But limit bn does not exist. So it is not convergent. It is only bounded but not convergent. Cn is equal to 1 plus minus 1 power n. The terms of the sequence, if you take n is equal to 1, first term is 0. If you take n is equal to 2, second term is 2. So we get only 0 and 2. So limit n 1 plus 1 minus 1 power n is equal to 1. But limit c to n, subsequence is c to n minus 1. Limit c to n is equal to 2. Limit c to n minus 1 is equal to 0. So it is bounded because it has upper bound and lower bound, that is 0 and 2. 0 is a lower bound, 2 is upper bound, it is bounded. But it not, and it is limit n tends to infinity, 1 plus 1 minus 1 power n is 1, it is convergent. So dn is equal to 3 by 4 n plus 1. The same way, limit dn is equal to 0. So it is bounded above and convergent. Okay. Right. Theorem. Every sequence of Sn of real numbers has monotonic subsequence. Every sequence Sn of real numbers has monotonic subsequence. That means a sequence Sn of real numbers has either increasing subsequence or decreasing subsequence. Before that, we have a definition, that is dominant term. Limit Sn be a sequence, we say that the nth term is dominate. It is greater than every term which follows it. So if a term is said to be dominant term, it is greater than for all terms it follows, or otherwise none of it exceeds the term xm, which implies xm is greater than xm plus k for k is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So see the proof. Limit Sn be a sequence of real numbers. Case 1. Suppose there are infinitely many dominant terms and let Snk be the any subsequence consisting of dominant terms, then Snk plus 1 is less than Snk. So Snk is decreasing sequence. In the case 2, suppose that there are infinitely many dominant terms. Choose n greater than n1 such that Sn1 beyond all the dominant terms of the sequence. Choose a number n1 such that Sn1 beyond all the dominant terms of the sequence. Then the given n greater or equal to n1, there exists m greater or equal to capital N such that Sm is greater than Sn. From the equation n is equal to n1 say that n2 is greater than n1 such that Sn2 is greater than Sn1. Similarly, n1, n2, n3 and so on nk minus 1 such say n1 is less than n2 less than n3 less than nk minus 1. That implies Sn1 less than Sn2 less than Sn3 less than Snk minus 1. Again, capital N is equal to nk minus 1 in equation 1. We get nk greater than nk minus 1 such that Snk is greater than Snk minus 1. Then from equation 2 and 3 hold with k in place of k minus 1. Continuing like this, by induction we obtain the increasing subsequence of Sn. So every sequence of real numbers has monotone subsequence. Otherwise, every subsequent sequence of real numbers has either monotone decrease sequence or monotone increasing sequence. So Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. Every bounded sequence has convergent subsequence. We know that every bounded sequence has convergent subsequence. To prove this one, if Sn is bounded, then its subsequence also bounded. If a sequence of Sn is sequence, it has monotonic subsequence. We know monotonic bounded sequence is convergent. So given that it is bounded, and we know by earlier theorem it is monotone, therefore the subsequence is monotonic and bounded so that it is convergent. Now limit inferior and limit superior. So first limit inferior and superior. Let Sn be a sequence of real numbers. Then we define limit superior Sn. Limit superior of Sn is equal to limit n tends to infinity supremum of Sn such that n greater than or equal to n. In the same way, infimum of limit inferior of Sn is equal to limit n tends to infinity infimum of set Sn such that n greater than n. So see example. Let the sequence an defined by an is equal to minus 1 power n for all n belongs to n. Then find limit supremum and limit infimum. An is equal to minus 1 power n. By definition of limit superior, limit n tends to infinity supremum of Sn n greater than or equal to 1, n greater than or equal to n. So if you take n greater than 1, that means n plus 1, n plus 2 and so on, n plus k so on. So supremum of minus 1 power n plus 1, minus 1 power n plus 2, what we get? Supremum of minus 1 and 1. So supremum of minus 1 is 1. So limit supremum of an is 1. The same way, limit infimum of an is minus 1. Okay. Now Cauchy sequence. Let Sn be a sequence of real numbers. Sn is said to be Cauchy sequence if for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number n such that m comma n greater than n implies mod Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon. Cauchy sequence means generally convergent means there for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a rational number n such that mod Sn minus S is less than epsilon. Here we take two numbers. For each epsilon greater than 0 there exists m comma n greater than n. That implies mod Sm minus Sn is less than epsilon. See here one theorem. Every convergent sequence is Cauchy sequence. Every convergent sequence is Cauchy sequence. So first, by definition, if a sequence is convergent, then for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a rational number n such that mod Sn minus S less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n. This is by definition. We write this. We have to prove Sn is Cauchy sequence. For that, suppose m comma n greater than n. Consider mod Sm minus here. See here one more. For every n greater than or equal to m, mod Sn minus S less than epsilon. I take two values m comma n greater than n, m comma n greater than n. Apply this definition for m and n. Both are greater or equal to n, so that mod Sm minus S less than epsilon by 2 for all m greater than n. Mod Sn minus S less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than n. Now mod Sn minus Sm is equal to mod Sn minus S plus S minus Sm. I add and subtract S, and by triangular inequality it's less than or equal to mod Sn minus S plus mod Sm minus S less than epsilon by 2 plus less than epsilon by 2 less than epsilon. Therefore mod Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon for all m greater than n. Therefore it is a Cauchy sequence. A Cauchy sequence is bounded sequence. Every Cauchy sequence is bounded. So to prove this one, let Sn be a Cauchy sequence. By definition, for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a rational number n such that Sn minus Sm less than epsilon for all m comma n greater than n. That implies mod Sn minus Sm less than epsilon. Mod Sn minus Sn plus 1 is less than epsilon. That implies mod Sn less than mod Sn plus 1 less than Sn plus epsilon. I take m is equal to maximum of mod Sn plus 1 plus epsilon, comma mod S1, comma mod S2, and so on. Therefore, that gives mod Sn less than capital M. So Sn is bounded. Therefore, every Cauchy sequence is bounded. Now, Cauchy general principle criteria. A sequence is convergent if and only if it is Cauchy sequence. A sequence is convergent if and only if it's a Cauchy sequence. Nothing but if a Cauchy sequence is convergent sequence is Cauchy sequence. Okay. Let Sn be a Cauchy sequence. Suppose that Sn be a convergent sequence. We have to prove Sn is Cauchy sequence. Already we proved this theorem. Let Sn be a Cauchy sequence. There is a epsilon greater than 0. There exists natural number n such that mod Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon for m greater than n, m comma n greater than n. This is by definition of Cauchy sequence. So mod Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon. Mod Sn minus Sm plus 1 less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to n greater than n. Mod Sn is equal to Sm plus 1 plus epsilon. So mod m is, I take m is equal to maximum of mod Sn plus 1 plus epsilon, mod S1, mod S2, and so on mod Sn. That implies mod Sn is less than m. Therefore Sn is bounded. A Cauchy sequence is bounded. Sn is Cauchy sequence. We have to prove that Sn is a convergent sequence. Already we proved this theorem. Okay. So see, we have to prove Sn is a convergent sequence. Sn is a Cauchy sequence by definition. Mod Sn minus Sm less than epsilon for n greater or equal to n comma m greater or equal to n. Mod Sn minus mod Sm is less than epsilon. Sn is less than Sm plus epsilon. Now Sm plus epsilon is a upper bound of Sn. Therefore supremum of Sn is equal to let un. Therefore Vn is less than or equal to Sm plus epsilon. Vn minus epsilon is less than Sm. Vn minus epsilon is a lower bound of Sm. Therefore infimum of Sm is un. Vn minus epsilon is less than un for all n greater than n. Therefore Vn is less than or equal to un plus epsilon. Therefore limit supremum of Sn is less than Vn less than un plus epsilon less than or equal to limit infimum of Sn plus 1. We get limit supremum of Sn is less than or equal to limit supremum of Sn. We know that limit infimum of Sn is less than or equal to limit supremum of Sn. From 1 and 2, limit supremum of Sn is equal to limit infimum of Sn. Therefore Sn is convergent sequence. Now Cauchy first theorem. The sequence an is convergent to L, then the sequence Sn where Sn is equal to a1 plus a2 plus so on an by n is also converges to L. Limit an is equal to L, then limit a1 plus a2 plus an by n is equal to L. See here, sequence an is converges to L, that is an limit an plus 1 an is equal to L. Then limit a1 plus a2 plus so on an by n is equal to L. See the proof. Let the sequence converges to L. That means limit n tends to infinity an is equal to L. I take bn is equal to an minus L. Limit bn is equal to limit an minus L. That implies limit an minus limit L. You know that limit an is equal to L. So L minus L is equal to 0. Therefore limit Bn is equal to 0. Therefore Bn is convergent sequence. Now I take Sn is equal to a1 plus a2 plus 1 an by n. From the equation 1, an is equal to Bn plus L, right? We take Bn is equal to an minus L. From that, an is equal to Bn plus L. So I write Sn is equal to B1 plus L plus B2 plus L plus 1 Bn plus L by n. So B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n plus NL by n. What we get? I take limit Sn is equal to limit B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n plus L. So to prove limit Sn is equal to L, it is enough to prove limit B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n is equal to 0. Bn is convergent sequence by definition. For epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number n0 belongs to n such that Bn minus 0 less than epsilon. Why? Because we know that Bn is convergent to 0, so that Bn mod Bn minus less than epsilon. So mod Bn is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n. Since every convergent sequence has bounded, then Bn is bounded. Okay. Now that implies if epsilon greater than 0, there exists natural number k such that mod Bn is less than k1 for all n greater than n belongs to n. Now B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n is equal to B1 plus B2 plus Bm plus Bm plus 1, Bm plus 2 and so on Bn by n. I split this as mod less than or equal to mod B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n plus mod Bm plus 1, Bm plus 2 and so on Bn by n. That is less than or equal to B1 plus B2 plus Bm by n times. So what we get? Mod B1 plus B2 plus Bn by n is less than k into m km by n plus n minus m by n into epsilon. That is, we take limit on both sides. Limit mod B1 plus B2 plus 1 Bn by n is less than or equal to limit km by n plus n minus epsilon by n minus m by n into epsilon. That implies limit km by n is equal to 0. Limit n tends to infinity, so 0. It is 1 minus m by n. If you apply the limit, m by infinity is 0. So 1 minus 0 into epsilon, which is less than or equal to epsilon. Therefore, limit b1 plus b2 plus bn by n is equal to epsilon, which is equal to 0. Therefore, limit Sn is equal to 0 plus L. Therefore, limit Sn is equal to L. That implies limit a1 plus a2 plus 1 an by n is equal to L. Some example is, first example, show that limit n tends to infinity 1 by n, 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by n is equal to 0. So apply Cauchy first theorem on limits. We know that limit an is equal to L, then limit a1 plus a2 plus an by n is equal to L, same. So I take here an is equal to 1 by n. An is equal to 1 by n. So limit an is equal to 0. So limit an is equal to 0. By Cauchy first theorem, a1 plus a2 plus so on an by n. What is a1? a1 is 1. a2 is 1 by 2. a3 is 1 by 3 plus so on an is 1 by n. So 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by n is equal to limit an. Limit an is 0. So this value is 0. The same way, limit n tends to infinity 1 by n of 1 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus so on 1 by n square is equal to 0. So I take an is equal to 1 by n square. Limit an is equal to 0. And a1 is equal to 1 by 1, a2 is equal to 1 by 2 square, a3 is equal to 1 by 3 square, and so on an is equal to 1 by n square. Apply Cauchy first theorem on limits. We get limit 1 by a1 plus a2 plus an by n is equal to 0. That means limit an is equal to 0. So that limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by n square by n is equal to 0. See one more example. Limit n tends to infinity 1 by n of 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 1 n plus 1 by n. Same, take n is equal to n plus 1 by n. That is an is equal to 1 plus 1 by n. limit an is equal to 1 plus limit 1 plus 1 by n. If you apply the limit, we get the value is 1. So first a1 is 1 plus 1 by 1, that is 2. a2 is 3 by 2, and so on. An is n plus 1 by n. By Cauchy-First theorem on limits, we get limit 1 by n, a1 plus a2 plus an is equal to L. Therefore, the given limit is 1. Now Cauchy second theorem on limits. If an is sequence and limit an plus 1 by an is equal to L, then limit an power 1 by n is equal to L. See, if you know the limit an plus 1 by an is equal to L, then we can find limit an by 1 power n is equal to L. Okay. So limit an is equal to, let an be the sequence and the limit an plus 1 by n is equal to L. So by definition of this limit, we write for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a number n such that mod an plus 1 minus n is less than minus L less than epsilon. Mod an plus 1 minus by an minus L is less than epsilon. That implies minus epsilon less than an plus 1 minus an minus by an minus L is less than epsilon. So add L to the inequality. We get L minus epsilon less than an plus 1 by n less than L plus epsilon. From this, we write L minus epsilon is less than am plus 1 by am is less than L plus epsilon. I take n is equal to m plus 1, we get one equality. And n is equal to m plus 2, we get another inequality. In the same way, I write n equal to n minus 1, we get L minus epsilon is less than an by an minus 1 is less than L plus epsilon. Multiply all the inequalities. So L minus epsilon into how many times? N minus m times. Therefore, L minus epsilon whole power n minus m is less than am plus 1 by am into am plus 2 by am plus 1. So on an by an minus 1. All terms gets cancelled. These are all terms get cancelled. We get an by am. An by am is less than L minus plus epsilon whole power n minus m. So we get the inequality L minus epsilon whole power n plus m, sorry n minus m is less than an by am is less than L plus epsilon whole power n minus m. Now multiply by am. So we get L minus epsilon n minus power n minus m into am is less than an is less than L plus epsilon whole power n minus m into am. So raise the power up to 1 by n. We get L minus epsilon whole power n minus m by m into am power 1 by n less than an power 1 by n less than am power 1 by n into L plus epsilon whole power n minus m by n by squeeze theorem. These are in the form Sn is less than Tn less than Un. Limit Sn is equal to limit 2n En is equal to L. Then limit Tn is also L. So if you know this limit and this limit both are equal, then the limit of this is also L. So by squeeze theorem, limit L minus epsilon whole power 1 minus m by n into am power 1 by n is equal to what we get? L minus epsilon. This is L plus epsilon. Therefore, what we write? Limit L minus epsilon less than an power 1 by n is less than L plus epsilon. So minus epsilon less than an power 1 by n minus L less than epsilon. Then this is right, can be written as an power 1 by n minus L is less than epsilon. This is nothing but limit an power 1 by n is equal to L. See example, limit n tends to infinity n factorial by n power n whole power 1 by n. See, for if you have an power 1 by n, then we know that it is easy to apply second Cauchy theorem and second theorem of limits. So first I write an is equal to n factorial by n power n. Limit an plus 1 by an is equal to L. By Cauchy second theorem, limit an power 1 by n is equal to L. Okay. Now an is equal to n by n factorial by n power n. What is n plus 1? N plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 power n plus 1. Now limit an plus 1 by an. What is an plus 1? N plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 whole power n plus 1 by n factorial by n power n. I write n plus 1 factorial as n into n plus 1 into n factorial. So n factorial cancel, and we have n plus 1 power n plus 1 into n power n. I write n plus 1 whole power n plus 1 as n plus 1 whole power n into n plus 1. n plus 1 plus 1 cancel. We get n power n by n plus 1 power n. So I write n by n plus 1 whole power n. And the same way, 1 by 1 plus 1 by n whole power n. That is, we have limit 1 by 1 plus n whole power n. That is 1 by e. Therefore, by the second limit, by Cauchy second theorem, this value is 1 by e. See one more example. Find the limit n tends to infinity 3n factorial by n factorial whole cube power 1 by n. So take an is equal to 3n factorial by n factorial whole cube, and an plus 1 is equal to 3n plus 3 factorial by n plus 1 factorial whole cube. An plus 1 by an. So 3n plus 1 factorial by n plus 1 factorial whole cube into n factorial by 3n factorial. I write 3n plus factorial as 3n plus 3 into 3n plus 2 into 3n plus 1 into 3n factorial into n factorial whole cube. I write n plus 1 factorial whole cube as n plus 1 whole cube into n factorial whole cube. So n factorial whole cube, n factorial whole cube cancel, and 3n factorial cancel. We get 3n plus 3, 3n plus 3, 3n plus 2, 3n plus 1 by n plus 1 whole cube. So 3n into n plus 1, 3n into 1 plus 2 by n, 3n into 1 plus 1 by 3n by n plus 1 whole cube. So 27n square by n plus 1, 1 plus 2 by 3n plus 1 by 1 plus 3n, 1 by, if you take n square common, 1, we get 1 plus 1 by n whole square. N square cancel. If you apply the limit, 27 into 1, that is 27. Therefore, the limit is of the given limit is 27. There is one more application of the second theorem. So limit an plus 1 by n is equal to, so limit an is equal to L, then limit a1, a2, so on, an whole power 1 by n is equal to L. See the proof. Limit n tends to infinity, an is equal to L. Limit log an is equal to log L. By using the Cauchy first theorem, limit an is equal to L, then limit n tends to infinity 1 by n into a1 plus a2 plus so on, an is equal to L. And we know that limit log an is equal to log L. So apply the log a1 plus log a2 plus log an by n is equal to log L. So 1 by n of log a1 plus log a2 plus log n is log of a1 a2 an. So log of a1 a2 an whole power 1 by n is equal to log L. That is nothing but limit a1 plus an into a2 into an power 1 by n is equal to L. See the example. Show that the sequence Sn is defined by Sn is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by n factorial. N belongs to n is a Cauchy sequence. So write Sn is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by n factorial. To prove the Cauchy sequence, we have to prove mod Sn minus mod Sm, mod Sn minus Sm is less than epsilon for all n comma m greater than n. So take m comma n greater than or equal to n, such that m is greater than or equal to n greater than or equal to capital N. Now Sm is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by n factorial plus 1 by n plus 1 factorial plus 1 by m factorial. Since m greater than n, now mod Sn minus Sm, mod Sn minus Sm is, write Sn and Sm, we get 1 by n plus 1 plus 1 by n plus 2 factorial plus 1 by m factorial. So 1 by n plus 1 factorial is 1 by 2 into 3 into so on n plus 1. N plus factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into up to n plus 1 n plus 2. So we know that 1 by n factorial is less than 1 by 2 power n. So 1 by 2 into 2 into 2 plus 1 by 2 into 2 into n plus 2 times. So So this is 1 by 2 power n plus 1 by 2 power n plus 1 plus 1 by 2 power m minus n. So this is geometric progression. 1 by 2n, take 1 by 2n is common. We get 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 power n minus m. So if you apply the geometric progression, some of the geometric terms in we get 1 by 2 power n minus 1 into 1 minus 1 by 2 power n minus 1, which is less than or equal to 1 by 2 power n minus 1. Therefore, Sn minus Sm is less than or equal to 1 by 2 power n minus 1. Therefore, Sn is a Cauchy sequence.